We are the Orphans of Ragnarökr. As Fenrisulfur the wolf approached, the goddess Freya banished our forefathers to this forgotten land so they might escape the foretold destruction of Midgard. That was 7 generations ago. Here, every day is a struggle to survive. The gods are dead, and we are outcasts in this harsh land called Yornheimer, Ironhome, and we are not its only prisoners. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Aaron, and this is a live playthrough of a campaign using the Ironsworn RPG rules for solo play. So we'll just get started. Knut Holgersson is laying in his bed. He has the warmth of Sonia next to him. He can feel her up against him beneath their hides. The wind gusts outside of the longhouse, causing the boards to creak a little. He opens up one bleary eye just to cast around. He can see that the fire in the hearth is still lit. It's down close to embers, but still lit, so he knows the servants have done their work. They've kept it warm, kept it lit throughout the night. On the other side of the longhouse at the far end, he can hear and he can see the animals moving around in their pen. He can hear the servants breathing, snoring softly in the darkness. He looks around the corners, but he sees nothing. Just a normal morning. It's about time to get up, start the chores around the steading. But he rolls over, pulls Sonia closer to him, inhales deeply of her hair, and then notices that he doesn't hear the breathing of his sons. He casts eyes over to their normal benches, where they normally sleep, and they're empty. He remembers vaguely that they had not returned home last night, which is not uncommon. For he's an older man, and his sons are nearly grown. His sons are really their men. So he doesn't think anything about it, and he closes his eyes back to try to get a couple of more minutes of sleep before the day's chores starts. After getting those not even 1 minute of that rest, there's a pounding on the gate to the steading. Father! Father! Let me in, Father! Knut is up and everyone else is up because such a disturbance in the morning in the Iron Lands in Yornheimer can mean nothing but trouble. He pulls on his breeches and he grabs his spear and he heads out. He throws open the door. The cold wind gusts through the door, swirling everyone, chilling him. His servants are getting up. He looks over his shoulder and he sees Sonia's expression. They've both lived a while in Yornheimer, and such hardships are nothing new. So he gives her a grim nod and heads to the gate. The servants are only a few steps behind him, as his son, Kavli, pounds on the gate again. Father, let me in! Quiet now, I'm here. And he peers out through the little gate's peepholes, sees no one else, and then throws the bar open and pulls Kavli in and shuts the gate behind him. What is this? What's the meaning of this? And where are your brothers? Falgrim's been hurt. He's at the vulva's house. She's seeing to his wounds. And where is Orn? Just get ready. Just get ready, Father. I'll tell you on the way. So casting an angry glare at his son before he turns back to the longhouse, Knut steps in, pulls on his boots, ties his sacks to his belt, grabs another a warmer tunic to put on, and grabs his cloak. Here in the Havens, it's chilly right now, but the storm it's not winter just yet. But the air, it is early. It's in that gray time, that wolf time before the sun comes, and so it's chill outside. He puts his cloak on and pulls Sonia close, and he says, "I'll get to the bottom of this. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be back soon. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. It's some tomfoolery. Anyway, be well." And he stoops down and gives her a kiss, and then kind of pulls his son after him through the gate, and they go tramping across the morning to the vulva's house. The vulva, her name is Hilma. The vulva is a seeress kind of sorts, and no, vulva is not related to any anatomical words. It's the Norse roots to that word is completely unrelated. So, but so they walk through the gray morning, watching as the sun comes up off to the side. "Speak now, boy." "Father, we went to Axe Watch." Knut stops and grabs his son by the tunic and says, "You did what? You did what?" We went up there. We were just trying to be men. We were trying to prove that there's nothing up there." "Prove to who, you fool? People have not been supposed to go up there for years, since before I was born or your father's father." He continues. He storms on through the night, or through the morning, and his son is trying to keep up with him. "Tell me what happened. How did Fosgrim get hurt, and where is Orn?" "Fosgrim, we were set upon. We went in, and it was dark, but there was nothing we could see. But it was terrible. We decided to leave, and it was too late. There was movement all around us, like in the shadows, like the shadows started to move. And we ran. It felt like hands were trying to grasp us and pull us back. And we pushed through and we fought. And then as Falgrim and I got to the main gate to exit, we saw that Orn was gone. He was nowhere to be found. Fosgrim wanted to go back in, but we had no idea where he was at. And I convinced him to come home so that we could get some help, especially since he had been hurt. He was bleeding. And so we came straight down. We went to the vulva's house to get treated, because who knows what kind of curses are in the wounds that dead spirits may give. The son's name is actually Fargrim. I realize I've said Fosgrim a couple of times, but it's Fargrim. We'll just account it up to nicknames or regional variations. So Knut, having heard enough, continues with a even faster step, even a longer stride towards Hilma the Vulva's hut, which it lies outside the walls of the village of Elderwatch. He's fuming. He's just angry, and the more he thinks about it, the anger builds. What they've done, he realizes, is going to have an implication on his family name for maybe generations to come. The path up to Axewatch has been barred, and it has been long-standing ruling that no one's to go up there because it's haunted, and for fear of disturbing the spirits and bringing a curse on the village. Even Knut never went all the way up there before, and now three people from his household have broken this long-standing taboo, and pretty publicly he knows if Hilma the vulva has become involved. So as he strides on, his son is lagging behind him, and he comes to the hut of Hilma the vulva, and standing before it is Arnvir, the village Goti, which is the leader. He's also the one who leads the town in the ceremonies and sacrifices, things like that, to the gods. And he sees him. He sees him coming, and the Goti sees Knut coming, and he storms over himself to meet him. And he is let's see. Normally they're on good terms. I'm going to see how he actually is feeling about him now. Let's see. Look at my character disposition. Okay. All right. Actually had to re-record part of this. So these are actually a 58. He's desperate. So the Goti comes over, and he says, well, "What's going on? What's going on, Knut? Your one son is in the vulva's house, hurt, and your other is missing. What foolishness drove them to violate Axewatch? I don't know. We can deal with that later. How is Fargrim? The vulva won't let us anyone in, but she says that he's okay. She's treating him. But what about this transgression? I need to go get my son. Orn is still up there. I need to go get him." The Goti looks, and he says, "No, absolutely not. We cannot risk it. We cannot risk it, Knut. What am I supposed to do? Leave him up there? Just leave him to die in the shadows?" The Goti walks back and forth, clasping his hands. "Knut, I have known Orn since he was a child. I offered the sacrifices on his birth. I love him, but I cannot risk the whole town. I cannot risk the whole village. I should already be telling everyone to evacuate. But Hilma, she won't even talk to me. She's too busy talking to your son, who is not saying much anymore. He's very upset. But he says exactly the same thing that Tjalve says. They went up there. They broke the covenant. They broke the taboo. Let me go get my son." So the first thing we're going to do, Knut is going to try to do a compel. So as we come down to our assets, I just want to look up empowered. Okay, so he does not have, I thought it had something on there, but he does not have that ability yet. He has not added that to his assets yet. So, oh, not thou. I need moves. He's going to try to... All right. He's going to try to compel. And so we have charm, pacify, barter. Okay. He's not going to try to threaten, but he's going to go from the angle that he is um, a warrior, that he has taken on dangers like this before, and that he can get up there if there's any spirits or anything evil, then he can take care of it. So he's going to make a compel using iron, and his iron is 3. Okay. Oh, look at that. All right. Just for those who are not familiar with the Ironsworn rolls, this is your action die. This represents your character's abilities, their actions, and these two 10-sided dice are the challenge die. You'll see here that there is what it calls a strong hit, a weak hit, and a miss. A strong hit is if your action die beats both of those, beats both of your challenge die. A weak hit is if it only beats one of them, and then a miss is if it fails, or if it doesn't beat either one of them. In this case, doubles. It increases. It makes it like a critical. It makes it an extra opportunity, or it makes it even worse if you if you fail. All right. And then it's a double. Then it's a critical fail. So in this case, Knut grabs the Goti by the shoulders, and he says, "I have dealt with these kind of spirits before. You know it. You know my tales. You know the journeys that I've been on. I've been all across Yornheimer. Do you think that I have never met such beings before? Do you think that I've never delved into the dark places of Yornheim? Well, I know that you have. I know that you have, Thane, but still, these are the rules of our village. Yeah, I know this. I know it. And I will make blood, I will make sacrifice to the spirits and to the gods, unto my very most valuable possessions. But let me go. Let me go. Yes. Meet me at the gates to the path. As quick as you can, gather what you need. I'm ready to go right now. I've got torches and I've got my blade. Let's go. Okay, this way. And so Arnvid leads Knut and Tjalve up the hill. He pauses. He wants to check in on his son Fargrim, that's in the hut. Yeah, he's going to. He was going to rush off to get Orn, but he knocks on the door quickly, and then, not without waiting an answer, he sticks his head in, and he sees Hilma, the vulva, the seeress, crouched on the ground next to where Fargrim is laying. Fargrim has some poultices pressed and wrapped. He has a scratch on his head. He looks like something on his arm. And he moves, his son moves to get up as if to get out of bed. And he Hilma reaches an old hand and says, "Lay down, lay down. You're no move. You're in no condition to move. Lay down." And he does so. He lays back down and he looks at his father and says, "Father, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." "What did you see? Just tell me what you saw." "It was darkness. Things were moving and attacked us from everywhere, and then Orn was gone. He was right behind me, and then he was gone. I should have gone back for him." "Maybe that is so. That we'll talk about later. Tjalve, you stay with your brother." "But I want to go with." "You have already abandoned one person up there, Tjalve." And Knut realizes that he should not have said it. He regrets saying it the instant it's out of his mouth, but he's angry. He's angry, and he lets the statement stand. "You wait here for your brother." And then he runs after the Goti. They jog back to the village where people are now starting to get up. Word has spread that something happened. And unfortunately, a couple of people have heard that somebody went up to the fortress, which went up to, what's it called? I forgot. Axe Moor? Axe Watch. And someone went up to Axe Watch, which in times of old, the hero Guni the Wild and his band operated out of, and had kind of cleared this land in the Havens, this area right here. That's the stories. It was abandoned long before Knut was born, and it's been supposedly haunted for generations. What really happened there is kind of shrouded in mystery. Just that Guni drove the enemies from the land, the Vatr from the land, or from the land, the elves and everything, trolls, all that stuff. So he goes, and the I'm going to, let's see, I need to double check something here, because he made his move. Compel. A strong hit, plus. Okay, so he'll take the +1 momentum, because he got a strong hit on the compel. I should have gone over this when it happened. So take +1 momentum. If you use this to gather information, then it would be a +1. But he's not really gathering information since he used this compel on the Goti. So let's see. I'll add one to the momentum there. I love that map. That map's great. So people are gathering, and as they gather, of course, they're whispering. Part of the strength on the strong hit is the Goti. He uses his own authority to kind of calm people down, because as Knut approaches the gate that leads up the path, there are some people that are not happy with that. They are, they're superstitious people, and they live in a land that actually does have some weird stuff, so they're not wrong to be superstitious. And as they find out that this man's sons have already violated their taboo that's there to protect the village, some of them don't want to. A few voices shout out, "He can't go there! He can't go there!" But Arnvid holds his hands up and he says, "Calm down, calm down. We will bless him. He is just going up there to Rescue Orn. You know Orn. He's just going to go up there and bring him back down. That's all. And Arnvid walks over. He grabs a chicken that's walking nearby, and he takes his knife and he sets the chicken up against the fence post, and he cuts its head off. And he holds it up and he begins chanting in these ancient song that's been passed down of blessing. And he goes up to Arn and he takes the blood from the chicken's neck and he etches a little pattern into his forehead, blessing him and giving him the power and the watch, that the gods will watch over him as he goes up and faces whatever lies ahead, whatever's up there that these people have been terrified of for so long. Knut, for his part, he hopes it's true. He grips his Thor's hammer, but since Ragnarok has already supposedly happened, he just doesn't know if the gods are real. But this is not a time for questions. He takes the blessings for what it is, and he takes another torch, leaves the one that he brought tucked in his belt. It's unlit. And he grabs another one, and he heads up the hill. The goatee opens up a gate. It's nothing that anybody who wanted to couldn't get by, but it's just enough to kind of remind people that they're not supposed to go up that way. As such, when he goes up the trail, it goes up to a rocky overhead, which is where the town gets its elder watch that is up there watching over everything. And as he crawls up the path, it's overgrown. There's weeds. There's been little rock slides, a couple places where he has to jump. And then as he comes around, he can see the signs of where his foolish sons had started to climb up, had come around to the main gate of this fortress. The fortress itself is in ruins. There's the outer walls are crumbling. The main gate is canted over in the doors. Woods are moldering and splintered. You can see where they got in and out, although he can't really tell from here whether it had already been broken or rotted away, or if maybe they had been even more foolish and chopped their way through the door. So he approaches. He has his spear in one hand and his torch in the other. And even though it's light, is getting lighter, he makes ready his torch because it looks like inside it's dark. And so he sets down and he takes his flint and he starts trying to light the torch. He gets it lit with little effort, and he goes forward and he crouches, torch first. The courtyard itself is again moldering, and you can see the scuffle of the footsteps in the disturbed dirt around, and it's just a mess. He can't make heads nor tails of what happened in the battle, or even who's. Just where we assume his son's footprints go in and leave light tracks and then come back out. So he wants to yell, "Orn! Orn!" But the first couple of times his voice sticks in his throat because he just can't bring himself to yell. But he knows that if they've woken anything up, it's already awake, and it probably already knows that he's there. Orn! But there's no answer. final scream he gives, he can hear it echo off into the darkness. On! In the courtyard, there are, it looks like part of the fortress was built into the rocks beyond the courtyard, and there's two doors, splintered, mildewed, rotten, that lead into the darkness. And there's tracks around both, and he really can't decide which way to go. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to make this a delve. All right. And that's going to be, is it a quest? No, not a quest. There's actually, I think, a delve in there. Where's it at? Delve. Here we go. Okay. So this part of the app, it lets you roll to, if you want to make a random. But instead, we're going to, let's see, should it be ancient? Let's see. Actually today, I got some fancy delve cards. All right, isn't that great? These things are awesome. I love them. All right, let's see. So ancient, this place holds the secrets of a bygone age. Okay, so that's one theme. And let's see, possibly haunted. Restless spirits are bound to this place. Okay. Let's see, ancient or haunted. Ancient or haunted. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just randomly pick one, because either one could work. Because it can be ancient and have spirits in it, or it could be spirits in an ancient place. So we'll go with this one. What's that? Okay, ancient. So it's ancient. It's an ancient, and it is going to be ruins. I thought about being fortified as an option, but it's not. It's not fortified. There's no one guarding it, or a stronghold is what the other one is. Okay, we've got those set aside. So it's going to be ancient, ruin, and I'm going to make this dangerous. It's, even though it's ancient, and the there's a lot of legends and whatnot about it. It is, it's not super big, and I don't I don't want my guy killed in episode 1, so I'm going to give him a little bit of a break. Let's see. I don't want to select it. Okay, and so discover the site. Okay, Sanctuary of Ralph. I don't want that. Oh. All right, ancient. Where'd it go? Come on. Ancient ruin. There we go. Duh. Ancient ruin, danger. Okay. And discover site. Sanctum of Numi. All right. Well, I don't know why it keeps calling it the Sanctum of Nasmi. But, okay. Looks like we can edit it here. So we're going to delve the fortress of Axe Watch. Okay. Dang, is that what it was called? I think it was Axe Watch. Yeah, Axe Watch. Okay. So, go back to our delve. Okay. And we will get ready to do the delve. Now, he wants to rescue his son, but instead of making it like a quest or a vow, um, I'm just going to make it um, just to delve the depths. However, I think I'm going to add it doesn't have it here, but I think I'm going to add like a threat track of sorts. He doesn't know what the status of Orn, his son, is, um, but he knows he has to race, and I think that might give us a little push, a little more tension to see because they don't know what happened to him. But it's obviously not good to be there by himself. Okay, so we've got the site, the Fortress of Axwatch. Um, I guess I should rename that the Ruins of Axwatch. And even though, like I said, this is really set up pretty nice. It shows you, um, it'll do all the clicks and stuff for you. Like I said, I prefer to use my dice, so I'm going to use that. Uh, Although I could be convinced to do something different because it is pretty handy to have those things there. Um, but um, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to delve the depths. Let's see. As he waking up early this morning, having hoped at least that maybe Tialave's panicked pounding was maybe someone had fallen into a well or they had gotten into a fight and cracked each other over the head with staves or something like that. Too much drinking, um, and now he's staring into the darkness of the ruins of Axewatch that have been above um, Overwatch um, for all these years, or Elder Watch that have been over Elder Watch all these years. Um, so the first area, as he creeps in through the main gates using the cards, is 93. So the features, 93. Something unusual or unexpected. Okay, so right off the bat, something unusual or unexpected. Let's see. It's cool when those things take a plot twist, but sometimes it feels like it's uh really kind of throws a monkey wrench into the progress. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's use our oracles. That's what they're there for, right? Okay. That's a 14. A toxic. 12. A toxic passage. Okay. So as he walks into the courtyard, um, and just trying to decide which of the two places he sees to go into, which of the two dark, uninviting, foreboding entrances deeper into there, he notices off to the side behind a lattice work of overgrown thorn bushes, hawthorn, something like that, something appropriately unwelcoming. He sees that there is another opening, and there's a foul smell coming from it as he approaches it, as just to see what's going on. Let's see. Are there tracks going into this toxic place um, that might lead him to think that that's where he needs to go? Let's see. I'm gonna say unlikely, just because the Suns would not have probably gone that way into this toxic passageway. Okay. So no, it 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 may come into play later on, but for now there is no in this toxic passageway. He sees no reason to even get closer to it. It doesn't look like there's anything, any disturbed ground or anything uh, nearby. So he just holds his torch up, gets his spear ready, and steps through into the new area. What he finds is a 12 features. Okay, ancient artistry or craft. All right, so as he walks in, he sees that the walls are covered with runes and tales of the heroes of this place. Um, and since they're carved into the rock, they actually are still readable. There's names that some that he seems to recognize from history. Let's see. I'm going to. Does he? Let's see. Let's see. We'll do a gather information, and this will be wits, just to see if he recognizes any of the names, any of the tales, and there is a this is related to one of the campaign secrets, I think. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets any kind of um, information for that. So this is going to be a wits roll stats. Uh, Now, normally this app, just a quick aside, normally this app, it if you expand it out enough, you can see all the stats of the character across the top, and the side has the menu. But I've got it shrunk down just enough so it'll fit on my little recording thing here. So maybe some way or sometime in the future I'll figure out how to expand it a little more. All right, so gather information. And he has his aspect. I think I might invoke an aspect here. Where are your assets? Sorry. He is sighted. He has not really done a lot with it yet, so he knows that he sometimes sees these strange things, these strange movements out of the. He thinks maybe they're of the little people or of spirits or something like that. He knows he sees them, but he's kind of afraid of the power. So when he face danger or gather information to identify mystic forces, add +1 and take 1 momentum on a hit. So this is a mystic area with some residue. So I'm gonna let him do it. And go back to my move. Okay, so 3. His wits. Oh, I forgot to look his wits up. I think his wits are 1. Oh no, okay. His wits are 2. All right, very good. We'll see what that changes. See if that changes anything. Moves. Gather information. All right, so we've got a 3 versus a 1. 3, 4, 5, and then +1 for his sighted ability. So there's something that kind of forms into his head as he's reading these runes. These connections are coming up, like one of those conspiracy web, but he can see. It's almost as if the characters in amongst the runes are moving and telling their story themselves. So on that's a strong hint. He discovers something helpful and specific, is how it's described. The path you must follow or action you must make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn and ask the oracle if unsure. Okay, so I'm going to take my 2 momentum to start with before I forget. So that's up to 5. So that's pretty good so far. I tell you, the dice are doing me pretty well tonight. I don't want to jinx it. And let's see. As far as oracles, I have an idea. I have an idea of what's probably there, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do an oracle just to see. Actually, let's see. I'll use a delve. I'll use the delve oracle just to see if it's something that maybe fits better. Okay, so it's a strong hit. So 53 destroyed, and then the focus. 9, a destroyed exit. Okay, well that works pretty well too. Yes, okay. So as he is sitting, as he's reading, he can see these characters, and they're heroes. They're heroes from Midgard. They're heroes from the first crossing from Midgard into Yornheim, and they are fighting these foes. And some of the foes seem to be flying, and the foes do some kind of curse, and it it shows them destroying the path that these warriors are trying to go. These warriors were trying to get away to go somewhere. It's not quite clear, but they're trying to get away and go somewhere. But these flying demons is kind of how they appear in the writing, in the description. These flying demons somehow destroy their plans. They wreck their exits and they trap them here somewhere. Either they trap them to the mortal world, or they trap them to Yornheimer. You can't really tell. You can't completely decipher. But these flying demons trap these heroes from Yornheimer, and as he's watching, he closes his eyes and shakes his head, and then all the symbols and the runes stop moving, and he looks around uh, just to make sure if anything is moving in the shadows, because it was such a strange experience. But he continues on, and now we're going to do our first delve the depths as he goes on. Now he's going to he's kind of freaked out, so he's going to go with observation, intuition, and expertise. So he's going to try to trust to see if this sense, whatever, just allowed him to see those runes moving, like had chewed on some of those mushrooms that Hilma the Vulva gave him before. That was a spirit walk, let me tell you. So delve the depths. He's going to do it with wits, and his wits are 2. Wits value is 2. Okay, so we have a 1 plus 2 for 3, 1 success, 1 fail. So that's a weak hit. And on a weak hit, roll on the table to see what happens for his delve the depths. Okay, and he is rolling with wits. Oops, okay. All right, I had to scoot that in there. So that's a 4. 004 with wits. Mark progress and reveal a danger. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so we'll come down to our delve. We'll mark progress. All right, and quick rules for those who are unfamiliar with Ironsworn. Pretty much everything that is a challenge of some sort. Everything that is a goal, a fight. You know, if you're trying to convince somebody, you can use it for everything. They have 10 boxes that is the progress bar. And depending on the difficulty, every time you score you mark progress, then it will X however many boxes or ticks, um, depending on the difficulty. For dangerous, it's 2, so every success you get a mark 2. Okay. And reveal a danger. All right, so now we're going to reveal a danger. Okay, 70. A discovery undermines or complicates your quest. Okay, I think what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to apply that towards the track, the threat track. Let's see, is that under challenges? I think it'll be under, or is it under quests? I thought it was under something, is it quests? I thought one of these things had a, like a bar for challenges. Oh well, I'm just gonna I'll just use this guy here on my little bloody dice. I'll set him off to the side. Currently 1. Once it gets up to we'll use it like a challenge, and it uses 4 hits. So once it reaches a 4th thing, then something bad for sure has happened to Orn. We may get there, and depending on what the Oracle say, they may decide already to give us something bad. But we'll use that to help kind of mark how Orn is doing. Maybe he's bleeding. Maybe he's sitting there screaming with his head in the darkness as spirits from a bygone age rip apart his sanity. All right, so now he's going to delve the depths again, and we'll throw in that somewhere in the darkness he hears the scream and he thinks it sounds like Orn, and he carries on quicker, although still carefully. Okay, delve the depths. Ooh, all right. So we have delve the depths with that. So that is a strong hit. Action. Oops. Action dice. Oh, with a plus which is a 6, which is over both challenge. So that's a strong hit. So we'll go back to our delve, and with a strong hit, you delve deeper, mark progress, and find an opportunity. And let's see, what's the opportunity? Find an opportunity. 75. Oh, you get the drop on a denizen. Okay. So he goes creeping forward, his torch ready, and he hears something ahead of him. Something moves, and he brings his torch back. So as he tries to kind of hide in the hallway, leaves his spear forward. Of course, in a dark place like that, it's hard to hide a torch, but he doesn't really feel like putting it out. So this is the denizen matrix. This is the default denizen matrix. And I'm just going to roll some of these. Yeah, some of them I might decide is something else. But we'll see. Okay. 52. A zealot. A zealot. Okay. So delve page 111. Zealot. So according to the Oracle, there are other people in this place. Obviously, well, maybe they are from the village. I was going to say maybe they're not from the village. There's some other group of people somehow that maybe you know another way into the fortress. But um, that's possible. I'm going to say it's unlike. Is it someone from the village? Maybe maybe a cult of people in the village that he doesn't know about. I'm going to put that as unlikely because because the village is close enough, and that gate up. And of course, they don't. If they're sneaking in, they don't have to use the gate. But I'm going to say the village is close enough knit that it would be hard for a long-term thing to go, unless it's a some kind of cabal. So unlikely. Okay, 37. All right, so it is not. It's not anyone from the village, but there are zealots here. So there are people who come here to worship. Maybe they're seeking knowledge. Um, let's take a look at what the zealot says in Delve. Okay, just Delve. Yeah. Zealot. I mean, I know what a zealot is, but okay, so this is just some kind of those who have lost their faith. Zealots are those we have lost to their faith. Okay, all right. Okay. In the land of Yornheimer, after which is supposedly happened after Ragnarökr, where the gods, except for a couple of Odin's kids and Thor's kids, were supposedly wiped out. No one here really knows exactly how Ragnarökr played out because the refugees left beforehand. At least that's the tale. Those are the tales that Knut and everybody he knows were brought up on. And some people have taken that as somewhat nihilistically, and others have taken, others have clutched onto a faith in their gods even stronger because of those tales. So he comes across this zealot. Let's see. What is this zealot doing? Okay. So first, his disposition, which of course Knut's not going to know until later on. So he actually talks to him. 26. Okay, so he's curious. All right, so he's maybe not openly hostile. And what's he doing? 13. He's learning. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so there's a zealot. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. He's curious and he's down there learning. Knut doesn't know he's a zealot, obviously. He's just a person. And as he's coming, his opportunity says he got a drop on somebody. He got a drop on a denizen, which is this zealot. So up ahead, he sees a light flickering in the tunnel, and he sneaks forward. His torch kind of held off to the side, but whoever's up there, they've got a torch too. So he's either going to sneak up on him or not. And as he approaches, he sees that around the corner is actually off on a little chamber off to the side. He sees a let's see, is there a lot of them? I'll just give a die 10 roll. No, I'm going to say this guy's just we'll say there's two of them. So he comes across and he sees two people in cloaks and kind of traveling cloaks in the dark, and it looks like they are reading another wall like the one that he had seen earlier where he got that information. And he sees them and he gets the drop on them. Now he doesn't really have a reason to attack them, even though he is kind of a violence first kind of guy. But he doesn't really have a reason to, and he's not there for them. He's there after his son. So he gets as close as he can behind them, and he booms out, uh, "What are you doing in this place? It is forbidden." And they jump and they turn, and he sees that there's an older man, not like really old, but an older man, and a young female apprentice, and they both have some kind of, looks like paint symbols painted on their faces and foreheads. He's unfamiliar with those paintings, what they are, and so he um, uh, sets his torch towards them and sets his spear ready to thrust at them, and he's going to let's see, he's going to compel them to not try to do anything and to tell him if they've seen anyone else, if they've seen his son. All right, so that compel, that's going to be compel. Let's see. I guess that will be iron. That one's going to be iron because he's actually threatening them. He's trying to do that, so he's going to try to compel them. Okay. So that's 5. So that's a weak hit. Okay, so on a strong hit, they'll do what you want or show what if they know. You take this and that. As above, but they ask something of you in return. Okay, well, he's seeking knowledge. Knut's not really in the mood to have some kind of deep discussion about the history of the place, though. Let's see. I'm going to say it's a 50-50% chance that the zealot who's seeking knowledge, we'll see if he wants something more esoteric, or if he's just, if he just wants to know some kind of history that he thinks that Knut might know, since he's obviously some kind of local. So 51 or higher, he wants something more esoteric, more specific. Okay, 27. So he will, let's see. I'm gonna pick some names for these guys, and I'm gonna make NPC stats for them real quick. I will be right back. Okay, I figured I'd go ahead and I'll just use this little chart here. Okay, so the older guy, um, he's an Irelander. I went over and I used this page that I use for Viking names. It's pretty good, fantasynamegenerators.com, which I think I've got a link in that session 0, which means I'll probably just copy it over here. Okay, and Starolf, that sounds like kind of a zealoty, information-y kind of guy. And I think this time maybe I will just use the goal, the buttons, just to see what it gives me. Okay, game power and influence, NPC role, soldier. Well, we already know what he is. He may be a soldier and a zealot, but descriptor, okay, harsh, that works. And his disposition, he was curious, because I like that one better. And the conversation, I'm not actually sure what oracle this comes from. Maybe Delve, or maybe something to put in, and maybe just something I skipped, but I like it. Okay. Rumors of a player's past. That's interesting. Let's see, what's his knowledge? Okay. Connection between an NPC and a special status for an NPC. I don't know what that is. So, and down here you can tell them their last location, and even though they're not in Elderwatch itself, they're actually in the Axewatch. The fortress above it is close enough, since I didn't put Axewatch as a separate location on the map. All right, I'm going to add NPC. And go ahead and put, I'm going to put both of those characters together into one NPC. Let's see. Oh, Goodney. I think that probably has some kind of relation to Norse word for God or something. But that's Goodney. He wants historical information from about Axwatch. Okay. Now, like I said, Knut, he does not want to he doesn't want to talk about this right now. But the result was a weak hit, so he tells him, he's like, yes, we did hear quite a ruckus earlier in the other wing. I can show you the quickest way to get there. If you be willing to tell me about this place, it is amazing, it's wondrous. No wonder it's off limits to the village at the bottom, though. I assume that's where you're from, right? Down the village. I saw the gate. But that gate's not the only way up, you know. I didn't know that. If we did know that, we would have put another gate up to keep vagabonds like you out. Now, please tell me, where did you hear the noise? Where did you hear them? Did you see somebody, a young man by himself, being taken back here, or wandering back here alone? Well, we did hear some screams. We thought it was something related, but it's hard to know because this place has a way of altering what you see and hear. But yes, promise that you will tell me all you know about this place, and I'll show you how to get there quickly. We've explored many rooms, and he looks over at his scribe assistant. We know a few to avoid. And she turns pale and shudders, but says nothing. So he says, "Come this way." And they each have their own torch. Well, she has a torch. He has a lantern of like a lamp. I don't know if they have lanterns in the Iron Age or not, but we'll call it a lamp. It's got the oil in the wick and the type you might rub, and a genie might come out. So Starolf leads the way with his assistant Gudni right behind her, and Knut, spear still ready. How did you get in here? Oh, we'll show you how. But shh now. And he leads them down the way. I'm going to go back to our delve. And let's see, does that change anything? I don't think so. So now we're going to go move that progress die for Orn's situation. Let's see. He's going to delve, but now he has some help. Let's see. Now, what I think I will give one. I'll give one free progress because he has someone who's been there already, and the area has been cleared out for him. So once the zealot, the soon-to-be, the person that he finds, once he's kind of muttering as he goes along, and every now and then he stops and says, "Oh, look at this! Look at this!" And Knut has to kind of bump him forward to get him going. He's like, "Yes, yes, it's very interesting, but my son, you said you knew. Please take me there." And the desperation moves the old man, and he carries on, muttering as he sees things in the dark hallway as the torchlight reveals more markings and runes. But he doesn't stop again. So we will do one more delve the depths, and let's see. I think it'll still be with observation, intuition, or expertise. Yeah, because he's following this guy. He's hearing, and the three of them are now walking deeper in to the area. Okay, 3-7. All right, so we've got a weak hit, another weak hit on the move. Let's see. Which is going to, okay, roll on the table. Oops, I need to make a little more sure, make sure my dice are, you guys can see my dice that I'm rolling down there. Yeah, I just got my Ironsworn, all my cards, and my Delve cards. Oops, there we go. Yeah, I got them today. I'm using the Ironsworn as a mount for my camera, or the plastic case that came with it. Let's see. All right, so what was I doing? Oh, delve the depths, wits with a weak hit. Oops, that was a 595. Take both. Oh, mark progress and find an opportunity. Okay, find an opportunity. Okay, 11. The train favors you, or you find a hidden path. Okay, let's see. Just to shake up what the insides look like, since before we were sort of, where are we in? Did I even determine what it looked like? Yeah, artistry and craft. That's with all this stuff on the walls. So let's see let's see if we have a new feature. 72, an archive or a library. Ooh, very interesting, and very interesting to our friend. What was his name? Oh, it's not over there anymore. NPCs. Goodney. Oh, Starolf. Starolf and Goodney. So he walks in and sees sees this archive. We'll call it an archive because the Norse at this time, Iron Age Norse, they were not, they were not, they didn't use scrolls. So everything that they wrote down was on sticks or on wood or on these big rune stones. And so as he finds a room, and he says, "I think it's this way." He hears the noise, and as he walks into the room is a big, well, it's not super big, but it's covered with more. It's covered with runes, rune stories up and down the wall, depictions all over, even on the roof and on the floor. And the zealot, he stops. He's like, this is what I've been looking for. And he looks over at his assistant Good, and he says, "This is what we've been looking for. This is what we've been looking for." And he immediately takes his torch and sticks it in a nearby sconce, and he's reading, and he's almost he's running his fingers over everything, and it's like he's almost completely forgotten about Knut. Knut's like, "Come, it's nearby. You said it was nearby. Oh yes, go. No, this is fascinating." Let's see. Does Knut even want to try to convince him to go on? Yeah, because he's kind of freaked out. So he's going to try another. He's going to try another compel to get him. But he knows that there's something in the next area, and he thinks it sounds like Orn. He's not sure though. "Look, you said you would take them to me. I will not tell you anything of this land until you follow me. You must make your part of the deal. You must keep your end of the bargain." Oh. Let's see. Let's see how he reacts. See how this guy reacts to this compel. Okay. Oh! Ooh, okay. By Loki's lips! Alright, so this is a double zero. So that's, and even though the 5 is a good roll, this you can't you cannot beat double zeros. But no, nothing, you can't do it. So that's like the worst roll. So this the zealot. Let's see, what does he do? He obviously does not want to go, and he will not tolerate that. Is there a reaction? Do I have a reaction? Is there a reaction chart somewhere? Character. Well, he was curious. He wasn't hostile, but that was a bad roll. Let's see. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe it doesn't even have to do with him. Let's see. It might have something to do with what they find. Something in the room. Yeah, okay. 50-50. That 0-0 is not the reaction of either one of those two, but it's something terrible that happens, like some kind of a revealed danger. So if it's 51 or higher, it's a revealed danger, and if it's 0 or 1 through 50, then the zealot is going to do something bad. Okay, 91. So we're going to reveal a danger. $67. Okay, you faced an environmental or architectural hazard. All right, let's see. So what would that be? So an architectural hazard, I'm thinking, maybe something uh, collapses. Um, yes. So the as he tries to, as Knut tries to threaten the older man into continuing on into the next area with him, the old man is trying to wave him off. He's not going. He is just staring and staring. And the as Canute, he storms over, and he puts his finger in the old man's face, and he says, "You promised to come with me. You will help me. It's just right there." And the old man, he says, "Leave me alone. I am studying these mysteries." And he, without thinking, he's got this wild look in his eyes, like someone being interrupted from, I don't know, playing a video game. Someone being interrupted, and he sees this. It looks like a stave or something against the wall, and he pulls it, and he gets ready to. Swing it. It's not really a stave. It's more like a post. It's a post big enough for him to get his hands around. And he's getting ready to swing it, and the wall collapses, and the old man's like, ah, and it collapses, and that will have Knut, because he's in the area, he's going to have to make a face danger to try to leap out of the way. So we will go to moves. Face danger. Let's see. Yeah, I think that one's. There's always the temptation to try to always game which one's the best for you. And since iron is his best one, his highest stat, um, it would be, like, well, he just uses his might and his iron to avoid the blocks that are falling on him. But that's, I think in this case he's going to try to jump out of the way. So that's going to be an edge. I'll give him an edge for agility. Jump! Look out! Oh, all right. So, base danger, strong hit. So he's successful, and he takes +1 momentum. Let's see. Stats, +1 momentum. I'll go back to our NPCs here. Let's see. All right, so Thorolf is I'm gonna say he's buried under some of these rocks. Maybe he's not completely buried, but those rocks that he knocked loose, they came down on him, and he's not moving. And I will say that Gudni, let's say that she was probably close, so 51 or higher, she got hit as well. Okay, so she did not get hit. She was looking at a different section of the wall, but she goes over to Starolf, and she's trying to wake him, trying to tend to him, and she is completely, she's not even responding to anything Knut is saying. And he can tell that Starolf is not getting up anytime soon, and assuming that Gudni would even be any help, um, she's she's not going to come and help him. So he's going to go one more. He's going to cross into the next area. All right, now at this point, he does have an 80% chance of having a delve, or of um, locating the objective. Let's see. I'm going to say he's going to try. He's kind of in a rush, so he's going to try to get in there. And this is where my challenge dice have stabbed me in the back more times than I can tell. But it's all part of the fiction, right? It's part of the narrative. You look for the interesting things that happen. And that's something I occasionally have trouble with. I want to win. I want to hit. I want to succeed. Um, but that's the beauty of Ironsworn in the kind of a narrative game, is that you can roll, and then the narrative follows the roll, follows the fiction, right? All right, so locate your objective is a progress move, and that progress move, a progress move is basically you're trying to finish whatever line you're working on, whether it's a fight or a journey or something like that, and it's 2 challenge dice, and you roll it versus whatever the bar is, how many marks you've got. So you could get a success and defeat a challenge after just a single hit. It's a big risk, but it is possible. So what I need are 1 through 7s. Okay, 3 and a 1. Strong hit on locate objective. Okay. Strong hit. You locate your objective and the situation favors you. Choose one. Make another move now, not a progress move. And add 1 or take 1 momentum. Let's see. We're going to go with, I think we'll take, I think at this point we're going to take the momentum. Because I know something that you don't know. All right, so we're going to go back to our delve. And we're going to, let's see. I'm just going to click through this so I can go through, and I think it will, just so I can kind of mark it. Yeah, just so I can kind of mark it complete, and I'll put it on there. Reveal, observation, roll. All right, as you can see, you get, it fills in, it comes those things with you. We'll find an opportunity and delve deeper. Well, there was a I thought there was a finish. I thought there was a move to do that. Oh well. All right. So as he walks through, he leads through because he's sure that he's heard something, especially after those rocks collapsed. Once the thunder of that noise and once the dust settled, he pulls himself up. The torch is still flickering in his hand. He pulls himself up, spear ready. The old man is not moving, and his scribe, she is now just sort of over him, trying to gently tap him awake. Knut's not sure that guy's ever going to get back up. That was a big rock that came down when that guy jerked that support out and caused the whole wall to collapse. Knut ponders, trying to read the runes or read the stories on the walls and the ceiling to see if maybe he can get another one of these mystical stories out there, or one of these mystical stories from the wall. See if his sight will give him, any kind of well, uh, deeper information as to what's really being said by the runes. But he knows Orn is in there, and so he can hear it, and he heard something go in there. So he's going to step in, torch forward, spear ready, and he sees Orn. He recognizes Orn's bright blue tunic crumpled up on the, he's crumpled, not his tunic, but it's bloodied, and it's got dirt on it, and it looks like he has been dragged on the ground. He can see the tracks where something dragged him across the room, and he carefully looks around, but he moves in quickly because he needs to make sure what state his son is in. He can't tell in the darkness from here. And as he gets halfway through the room, he hears some shuffling across to his right, and he turns his head slowly, and he sees over there, he sees the remains of a blackened body wearing a rusted helmet, a rusted Viking helmet, not with the horns. He didn't have horns, but a Spangen helm with the oculars that kind of cover the cheeks, moldering leather plate armor, and laying across his lap is a rusty chipped sword. The body is blackened, and just it reeks. And as Knut is looking, two little fiery lights illuminate behind the helmet's eye slots. In the helmet, and they start to burn, and he stands slowly, lifting his sword up, and he's tall, he's powerful looking, and just Knut looks, and he's ready to run, but he knows his son is over there, and his son is depending on him, and he is not going to be able to rescue his son until he defeats this draugr, what must be a draugr. He's heard tales of them, and even though he had told the Gotis of big stories about the hidden secrets and the dark enemies he's fought in the past, he's never faced something like this. He's never faced a draugr. He's never faced any kind of evil spirits or monsters. He fought some elves way back in that time when he was captured and disappeared in that missing time. But this beast, this creature, you can see the tendons in his neck and his face just drawn taut beneath the darkened and gray mottled skin. And he says, the voice seems to resonate from the very walls instead of from the draugr. And he says, You have trespassed, and now you will pay. And we're going to call it there. We're going to call it there. We'll set that fight up for the next episode. Um, that was really fun. This is uh, yeah, I've played some solo campaigns through, but because I'm kind of trying to make a show, make it entertaining, like people are watching to be entertained. Um, Usually when I'm playing solo, I'll kind of have the conversations and stuff going on in my head, but I don't necessarily act them out. And maybe you wish I wouldn't act them out. Well, that's a distinct possibility. But I'm having I that's it's fun. I had a good time doing that. I'm interested if you would leave me some comments below as to what you think. I had some time to mull over the inciting incident, so not everything is going to be quite so verbose, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my setup. If you think I talk too much dialogue, if you think I should not do dialogue, and just whatever kind of feedback you like. Do you not like the dice? Would you rather I use the things on the app? Just whatever you want to share with me. I'd love to hear from you. So if you want to like the video and subscribe, you can get the notifications. I don't know. I'm kind of new at the YouTuber thing, so but I will be making another one soon. And I also recently have put up a review for a book I got, so you might want to check that out too. So if I'll be making another one. I hope to see you next time, and we will follow the adventures of Knut Holgersson. All right. Have a good day.